Hey now, and welcome down to KCToyreviews. We are here today with a very exciting review with Satoru Gojo by Asmus from the smash hit anime show Jujitsu Kaisen. And of course, as always, Asmus has knocked it out of the park with quality. And if you are all curious about those details, then let's go ahead, hold each other's hands, and dive right the hell goddamn in. Alright, so here we are with Satoru Gojo by Asmus. I'm probably butchering that first name. My wife taught me how to say it. Satoru, whatever. I'm going to call him Gojo. Gojo is much easier to say, and yes, I am a massive fan of the show. I own it. I've seen all the episodes, but I am going to be a little bit candid. The show still confuses me to this day. It is so out there, which also has some hints and pulls from Naruto, the way the demons are trapped inside of people. And the demons on this show are just out of control. They're everywhere. The powers are out of control, and even Gojo in front of us. I think I'm still a little bit confused on his godlike powers. When he removes his mask, and well, I guess good segue to show the other fantastic head sculpt that we have with this. I mean, look at this. This is probably the most handsome head sculpt I've ever seen. Absolutely. Oh, I caught him. Yeah. Who's the god now? Oh. All right, let's try that again. So yes, Gojo has godlike powers, and I'm pretty sure he unlocks his godlike powers when he has this absolutely ridiculous, handsome head sculpt. And I'm pretty sure he unlocks these godlike powers when he takes that blindfold off and reveals these beautiful eyes and this absolutely ridiculous, handsome face. And we'll take another look at that head sculpt later. The hair on both the unmasked and this head sculpt are freaking phenomenal. There's a slight gradients and shading throughout this. Unlike the ThreeZero version that was out before, it just had basically a straight flat look to it. This has a gradients, a shadowing. You see the little bit of darkness at the bottom, and then it gets lighter and lighter throughout the hair. I mean, this is some truly awesome 3D sculpted with what I would assume is several different layers in here. It's just absolutely an amazing head sculpt. And like I said, I don't know if the camera's even picking it up, but there is a slight gradients of darkness at the bottom that goes throughout the top. And it just starts to lighten at the tips of the hair there. So the detail on the hair alone is actually probably one of the highlights and stars of this entire review. I guess that's a good time to swap out the face plates. So as we start with this one, we are going to just kind of push down a little bit on the nose, which pulls this off. Oh, I dropped it. I was actually going to show how easy it was to do that, but I dropped it. Push that one back up. Boom. And as you can kind of see, it almost sucked it up at the end there. I'll grab this one down here, and because there's a little magnet system in there. And I just want to note quickly the craftsmanship and the quality of Asmus figures. Not only do we have this little magnet thing here, and this is going to sound like a little nitpick here, but most 1/6 makers would just drop this magnet and glue it in there. What these guys did, if you can actually see here, it's actually like clamped and clipped in there. And my guess is there might be a little adhesive under there, but that piece of metal magnet is going absolutely nowhere. And as we can see here, we have several different expressions that we can plug in and out there, all with that same excellent craftsmanship and quality. And the small little quality details, like the way the metal is clipped in, just adds to the longevity of the figure and the overall shelf life. And just a quick look at Gojo in his godlike, beautiful blue eye mode, all while slowly pulling the mask down with that finger. I think it looks incredible. Clearly, this anime face sculpt is ripped straight from the show. I couldn't have asked for anything better as far as detail. I would say the only suggestion I might have is make sure to have a peg in both head sculpts next time. It has been a pain in the butt to get out of this one. And of course, before we start to make our way down, we can kind of note this really nice. Whoa, my God, I'm just knocking. Oh my God, I'm knocking figures everywhere. My Jesus. Just beating the crap out of these things. And I do have to say, I've been very, very excited for this release. So I'm going to hold them instead of dropping these things over and over. But we do have this very beautifully tailored turtleneck. That classic look to this character that we are all known to kind of cover up his mouthpiece a little bit there. That's kind of where it always sits. But just as far as the tailoring on this piece, absolutely amazing. I always want to note when we see hemlines that are this finely done and this small that look basically real, I would say that the craftsmanship, the tailoring, everything on this piece is absolutely next level. Hugs the body nice, the proportions are nice, and even the coloring is nice. I will have this side by side with the ThreeZero one, but the color on this one and the material is far superior than the ThreeZero. And then same thing as we make our way down. I mean, the suit is pretty simple. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but the pants very, very nicely tailored, and they drop right at the ankle ever so slightly. So there's just a slight lift where you can see a little bit of his sock there. So really, really nicely done. And the shoes on this guy are beautiful. We have this very glossy look. I'm not sure what's necessarily accurate, and the only reason I note that is on the ThreeZero version, they are a matte black look. And on here, we have this glossy look. However, once you see them side by side, I would say immediately this one draws your eye more. This looks nicer, and the quality comes across better with the glossy look. So all in, it's pretty amazing. And as far as articulation down here, I mean, as good as you can get. Fantastic articulation. Same thing, obviously, with the rest of this. We have double jointed knees, double jointed elbows on this guy. You could basically bend and do whatever the heck you want with them. Now, as we take a quick side-by-side look at the ThreeZero version, which is to the right, and then the Asmus version, which is to the left, I mean, I usually don't want to be this brutal or this mean, but I thought I would have to dive a little bit deeper to show off the differences between the two and why the Asmus version is vastly superior. But I'm almost chuckling because the initial observation through the lens right now is the one on the right, aka the ThreeZero one, looks ridiculous compared to the Asmus one. And I'm sorry, I love ThreeZero. They are a fantastic company. Some of my favorite collectibles are made by them, so I'm not bashing them whatsoever. But clearly, Asmus has destroyed the competition here, because the Gojo on the right looks damn near goofy. His chin is tucked in a little bit awkwardly. The body proportions are weird. The paint application is just not as good. And my God, look at the ridiculous differences between the head sculpts, especially the hair. Now, just to take it a little step further, just take a look at the difference. ThreeZero, Asmus again. Look at the head and the hair sculpt on this one compared to the ThreeZero one. I mean, it is just a huge difference. This is basically just a flat, I don't even know what color we call this. It's like a whitish purple look. And over here, like I said earlier, gradients, we have shadowing and everything. So the hair and the head sculpts on this are ridiculously different. And up close, it's not like the ThreeZero one looks horrible or anything. It's just, I don't know, something about this just has the proportions and looks like it's ripped straight from the show. This is like a very finely chiseled chin on this guy. Something that just looks a little bit off on this one in comparison to the Asmus version. And of course, as we take a little bit deeper of a dive into the tailoring, same thing. The version to the left, Asmus, the tailoring is far and vastly superior. Proportions are better, it hugs better. The hemlines and all the sewing are slightly tighter, slightly smaller. And the color as well is a little bit more screen accurate. I like that darker, more bold blue that's on the Asmus version versus almost like a purple version over here on the ThreeZero. And then last to note, the ThreeZero has this, I don't know the best way to describe it, like a windbreaker material, very silky, smooth kind of feeling, as opposed to the Asmus version, which is a very clean cloth matted look. I'm still not sure what's up with the material on this one and why they went this route. Who knows? Sometimes maybe I'm crazy and this is more screen accurate or something, but something is just weird about the material on the ThreeZero one. One last time, just take a look at the one to the left and the one to the right. You be your own judge, but I think everybody can tell which one looks vastly superior. And as I mentioned earlier, the Asmus version to the left with a very glossy, shiny shoe, and then the matted ThreeZero, and then the matted black ThreeZero version to the right. Again, this one might boil down to personal preference. I'm not sure we're ever going to know which one is necessarily screen accurate. I take that back. I'm sure somebody knows out there. And I'm sorry, I don't want to sit here and bash on the ThreeZero one again, but take a look at how goofy the ThreeZero one looks to the right in comparison to Asmus to the left. Something's just weird about the way his neck and everything is tucked in there. There is just a clear winner with the Asmus version, and the proportions, tailoring, and quality they put into theirs. And just a quick comparison of the stands that are included. Let's start with the Asmus version to the left, which is a branded beautiful crotch grabber stand. And then, of course, as we start to look to the right, well, ThreeZero has left us with nothing. Yeah, that's right, ThreeZero. You're always screwing us in the booty with your stands. It makes no sense. I mean, at this point, it's driving me crazy. Who creates a 1/6 scale figure and doesn't include a stand? ThreeZero must be the laziest company out there to not include a stand. It just makes no sense. I mean, at this point, I'm not sure I can even think of many 1/6 scale producers out there that don't include a stand. And just to compare their other godlike, beautiful blue-eye head sculpt, we have the ThreeZero one here, the Asmus one here, and I think they are very, very similar in the front. I would say that as far as the paint application, the beautiful blue eyes, both of them look pretty decent. Still, something about this one and the proportions on the Asmus one are better. But the ThreeZero one's not bad at all. It's just the same thing with the hair. Vastly superior. You can see the kind of gradients and paint application that went into the love and care on this one. This is just straight off the 3D printer. And you can't really see it on camera too much, but there's kind of these little gritty pieces around the hair on this one. Just some quality concern issues that were even on the other head sculpt as well. That this one is just very finely done. The overall quality is better on the Asmus version than the ThreeZero version. And if anybody even cares, Asmus included little socks on their guy. ThreeZero included no socks. So more quality, less quality. And there we have it. Satoru Gojo by Asmus. And of course, as always, Asmus has knocked it out of the park with this release. I mean, so much so that I don't think I've found one fault with this entire piece. As I look back and think about everything we just saw, I can't think of one negative piece to this release. The craftsmanship and the quality of the tailoring are absolutely spot on. But of course, this is from the company that puts out Lord of the Ring releases with absolutely insane tailoring. Even the Nazgul had insane tailoring. So for a simple release like this, I expected nothing less. But in a weird way, even as simple as it is, it actually exceeded my expectations. Those very fine hem and sew lines are absolutely insane. I still don't even know how they pull those off. The suit hugs and fits the body perfectly. The colors are spot on. Articulation is obviously amazing. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more in the articulation department. And then those fancy shoes just kind of top it off. They look amazing. I truly do like that glossy look. We can swap out several different chin pieces so we have a lot of different expressions, all paired with that fantastic head sculpt. I know I drove it in a couple times throughout this video, but there's a gradients to it. There's a shadowed look, and you can see that it was brought together with several layers. And then we do have the additional head sculpt with those beautiful baby blue eyes that, from my understanding, unlocks his godlike powers. Space, time, everything is in his control. Gojo is basically an unstoppable hero, which is cool because usually the villains have the unstoppable ones. And with Jujitsu Kaisen being an incredible show, I truly hope that Asmus doesn't stop here and we see a few more releases. Clearly, it would be incredible to get some demons, but before we get demons, I just need Asmus to give us more orcs from Lord of the Rings. This is such a random tangent. I'm sorry, Andy, the team over there, give us orcs. We want those freaking orcs. Anyways, back to this incredible release. I think it's a perfect time and a segue to slap a score on this guy, because as I've said earlier, I don't think there's anything wrong with this piece. So with that said, and the simplicity that lies in front of us, I think what we're going to go with is a 9.2 out of 10. It's what I feel in my chest. A 9.2 out of 10 is what lies in front of us because there is nothing wrong with this piece. If you're a Jujitsu Kaisen fan, if you're a Satoru Gojo fan, then you would be crazy not to go with the Asmus version versus any other version out there. This is as good as you're going to get for this character, all within an amazing price point. And with a 9.2 out of 10, I highly doubt anybody else is going to tackle this character, so I just want to stress one last time, this is as good as you are going to get. So jump on it now before the price jumps up when this guy is sold out. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up today here at KC Toys with a 9.2 out of 10. Satoru Gojo Jujitsu Kaisen, the amazing hit anime series. Hope we have more characters coming in this line. KC Toys, Asmus, catch you guys next time. Yeah!